What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Recruiting Masters Podcast, episode 12, brought to you by the CFC Insider. I'm Katie Burt, content manager for CanadaFootballChat.com, alongside Clint Uttley, lead analyst and head of the CFC Scouting Bureau and former U Sports head coach. Hey, Clint, how's it going?
It's going great. Just enjoying the sun here on the West Coast. Looking forward to getting into spring camp.
So, we're going to be talking about some prospects later on in the show, but first up, we've fastly coming up on Thursday, May 2nd, we've got the CFC Prospect Game roster reveal on the CFL Draft show from 8 to 10 p.m. on TSN. We're also going to be talking about, you're going to give us a little more information about the kicker punter player rankings that we will be starting in August as well. Like I said, the top prospects. And then we're going to just talk a little bit about this Can West rule that came to light, to me anyway, this past week regarding spring camps and who can attend. So let's get right into it. June 1st, just to remind everyone, is our really exciting event coming up, the CFC Prospect Game. That's going to be broadcast on TSN. It's the first high school all-star game that's ever been broadcast on our national sports network. It's pretty cool. But then, before that actually happens, though, the world is going to know who's actually going to be playing in that game on May 2nd. So can you want to just tell us a little bit about that, Clint?
Yep, on the 2nd during the CFL Draft, which takes place obviously on TSN, there's going to be a roster reveal. I know they're going to have one or two of the players who will be playing in the game are going to be actually in attendance. It won't be some, long roster rollout. It'll be pretty quick. But they're going to get everybody's names out there so people have a chance to see them at that point too. The players are going to be able to let people know that they've made the team as we finalize the roster and kind of get that all squared away. And just a kind of a caveat or an add-on to that is a lot of the players at this point who didn't make it have been notified for the most part. If you haven't, check your email or your voicemails, please. Okay, and then just the final point to that is, it's gonna go out on TSN. It's gonna be super exciting, and hopefully some of the prospects playing in the game will have a nice little edit here or there from CFC, and they can push it all over social media.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. Just to kind of segue into the next little bit, we've included kickers and punters in this all-star game. There will be no kickoffs, but there will be punting and kicking going on, obviously.
Yeah, there will be from a special team perspective, there will be kicking, like
field goals,
extra point field goals, and there will be punting. And there will be no kickoff and no kickoff return in this game, at least. Each team each team in the game, there will be 4 specialists actually in the game. And most of the specialists that have made the roster are just that. They're specialists. They're the best kicker only, punter only, and there's some pretty solid long snappers in it as well. And that kind of leads us to our next point is we've started to build our very short roster, our short list on kickers and specialists, which will be released, I believe it's in August. We'll start pushing that out as we push out like our preseason lists for the class of 2020, 2021. And also in that same kind of window, you'll get the class of 2022 and you'll get the kickers and the specialists go out kind of in that window as well.
So if you want to follow these rankings, find out where they are on CanadaFootballChat.com, you can go to the rankings tab on CFC, and there will be all of the ranking lists there for you to see. You will need your exclusive CFC membership to view those rankings. And then just an update, starting this coming Monday, the CFC 60 new edition will be released. The following Monday, the CFC 100, 150, 2020 will be released, and then 2021 will be released the Monday following. So the next 3 Mondays, you'll have a new full ranking list coming to you.
And just to add to that, there's a number of 2022s who were originally on the class of 2021. You're obviously going to move to your own list at this point, so that's why you would have come off the 2021. A lot of them know who they are, but just so everybody understands, Usually when we're 2 or 3 years out, there's 2 classes in one. However, as we move towards their junior year or the end of their sophomore year, we actually really split those lists up and really dissect them. So if you were a 2022, you're going to have your own class. It's going to come out, don't worry, in August. And don't be shocked if that class of 2022 has a couple 2023s on it.
That's great to hear. I'm sure a lot of those youngsters are just biting at the bit to get going and get on those lists and get noticed. And we'll be there to give them all the help we can, CFC can give them. So Clint, let's get right into it. We've got the first one on the list, Ty Anderson, class of 2020. He's a center, 6'3", 285. He's from Centennial High School in Calgary. He's a pretty tough kid. I believe he's better as a center. What do you think about him?
Yeah, Ty went to the showcase and was obviously invited back to the tryout. He played both positions in those 2 different 2 tryouts. Did a really good job. Ty, I hate to tell you this, but you are an interior offensive lineman, and you need to trust me. And you need to trust Coach Melrose. So, anyways, Ty, you are not a nose tackle. You're an interior offensive lineman, and you are a really, really, really good interior offensive lineman
He's very good.
who has a ton of potential, and your frame lends to that. So, I mean, Ty is really good. He is really tough. He just kind of has that demeanor you're looking for in an interior offensive lineman to go along with the frame. And you know what? He played guard. He played center. He did a really good job. So I mean, people are looking for those post players or the pivots, as you sometimes will call an offensive center in football. He is definitely one of them. There's 2 or 3 on the list who identify strictly as a center, and hopefully he kind of takes our lead here and goes with it, because I honestly believe he could be one of the top centers, if not in Western Canada, maybe even in Canada. And he's, hopefully he kind of digests that, and just kind of moving forward, that's kind of where he plays his football.
Well, and at that frame, at 6'3", 285, he also moves really well. He's extremely athletic.
It's funny because when we watched him in the offensive line drills, it was like impressive. When we saw him in the defensive line drills, it's not that it was like, it was a little, it didn't seem as like eye popping or whatever, but like, yeah, when he was playing, snapping the ball or just the interior offensive line, he did a really good job. He also is as a nose tackle, he's more of a power player, but yeah, he was impressive. As a center, I found him really impressive.
So one of the kicker punters that potentially could see himself being ranked shortly is Ethan Nagler, class of 2020. He's from the Calvin Clippers in Winnipeg, Manitoba. He's an outstanding kicker, and he actually did a really great job at the Winnipeg tryout and in all 3 phases. Yep.
He's obviously, and like we say when we go and do these tryouts and these invitation-only tryouts, and we're trying to identify kickers for the list or the specialist list that's going to come out, they are just that. They're specialists. They're kickers and punters who actually understand the craft. They're not another positional player who wants to try out maybe if they don't make it as whatever else they play. But yeah, Ethan is one of those. He showed us he can place kick. He showed us he can kick off and actually place the ball on kickoffs. He did a really good job punting the ball, even though we were in a pretty big field house. He was putting up into the rafters, but he was showing us that he could actually, you can tell in those scenarios how it leaves their foot. So he did a really awesome job in the Winnipeg tryout. And I think he's starting to get a little bit of interest from, is it North Dakota or North Dakota State?
State.
Yeah, I think he had when the open period is going, obviously now with the NCAA, and I do believe they made their way up and had a visit with Ethan, so that's really good for him. And like you said, he did an awesome job in Winnipeg.
And then we have Malcolm Bell, who is post-gradding to 2021. He's a defensive back, 6'1", 165 pounds, originally from Lachine, Quebec. He's a really impressive athlete, long. He has got good ball instincts. I believe that he's going to be going to Clarkson Football North come the fall.
Yeah, I think Malcolm, whatever Bell you want to, whichever name you use, both of them. He did a really good job. I liked his film last year when he was at St. Anne's. I do believe he's now finished Sec 5 or Grade 11, for those of you who don't understand how the system works in Quebec. So, yeah, I think he was at the transition point where it's prep school, i.e. Clarkson, you already mentioned it, or it was going off to CJIP, which a lot of the kids do in Quebec. But, yeah, he had a really good film, both at St. Anne's. He also is he plays for the provincial team as well and did a really good job in that. But, yeah, long, lean, competitive, gauging off his film. He has good ball skills. You know, he can play zone, he can play man. So yeah, he was really impressive. And the thing that stuck out the most to me was just how long he was, and obviously his ability to cover people. So.
And then we've got Sonny Bermudez Chavez, class of 2020's receiver, out of Harry Ainley in Edmonton. 5'8", 149. He's a very quick kid, but he understands how to get open and make the big play, I thought.
Yep. Sonny actually was at the Calgary tryout and did an awesome job at the tryout. He kind of understands leverage and how to kind of get himself open. And then if you watch his Ainley film from last year, you can see that he obviously knows how to attack people, attack coverages. He is fast, but I would say he's more quick than he is fast. But he is super quick. His film, you know what? It was just as impressive as some really, really awesome players from Ainley who maybe got a little bit more love this year, maybe because they were a year ahead of him. But I mean, his film was really impressive, and you know what? He just did a good job of getting vertical and made a lot of big plays on his film.
Yeah, he was fun to watch at the tryouts for sure. Next, we've got Oliver Griffiths, 2020 kid, another kicker punter specialist, 6'3", 190 pounds. I believe he plays a secondary position, but I'm not sure about that one. But he is from London, Ontario, goes to London Central. He's a solid athlete, and he did a really great job at the Burlington tryout.
Yeah, Oliver is a specialist, so he doesn't play a secondary position.
Okay.
No. There was him and I believe it was Zach Copeland were at the Burlington tryout and did an awesome job at the tryout. Both of them posted scores, and we're going to just kind of stay focused on Oliver. I'm not actually. Both of them posted scores in the combine that were equal to or more impressive than some of the skill players. Whether it was like their lower body strength in the power ball, in Oliver's case, or whether it was, I hope we get the name right, Zach, that ran a legit 40-yard dash. So, I mean, both these kids are athletic enough as specialists, which they focus on mainly right now. They probably are athletic to go the other way and probably go play some skill positions, you know, if their high school ever needs it, or they possibly do. But, yeah, he did a really good job in Burlington. And demonstrated that he is a solid athlete as well as on top of just kind of being the specialist, that /kicker/punter type.
If you want to listen to the rest of the Recruiting Masters podcast, become a CFC Insider member today for exclusive access to rankings, analysis, and daily football recruiting news from across Canada. Head over to CanadaFootballChat.com to sign up now.